Hello everyone, welcome back. So in our Appium migration series, today we are going to see how we can set up the iOS or the iPhone simulator or the real device to test your Appium scripts into the simulators. And also we will see how we can create a new sample project with the latest version of the Appium Java client, that is 8. So in our previous session, we have seen couple of migration guides, like what are the different changes that happen. So some kind of those concepts we will be using to run a basic test case into your iOS simulator. Okay, so let's get started. Now, if you would have watched one of my blog, actually here I have extensively described all the steps to create like your Android or iOS simulators, and also what are the prerequisites that is required to run your Appium test. There are couple of steps that we need to do, and this is all one-time setup. Once you have done everything properly, then from next time onwards you can run your test as you are running into your browsers. Okay, so for an instance, I will be taking the iOS, okay, today. I mean, how do we run our Appium test cases into the simulators? If you want to know more about the Appium and all the details, you can go to my Appium tutorial blog. Here there are a lot of tutorials that I have specified here, and I will be keep on updating this year with the changes. So keep watching and look into this. Hopefully you will get a lot of information from there. But if you want to spend couple of minutes from now to understand how to run the test practically, keep watching. So here for iOS, like let's say I want to run my script into the iOS or into the iPhone devices. How do I do that? Let's say that you don't have a real device, you want to run locally all the test cases. No worries. The only prerequisite is that you have to use the Mac operating system or the Apple laptops only. The Windows doesn't support running your test cases into the iPhone or simulators. But then you can use the different cloud service providers like BrowserStack, Sauce Labs, and there are a lot of other cloud providers are there. You can directly pay their service fee, and then you can run your test cases from your machine to their cloud services. Okay, now let's talk about how to install the Xcode. Now Xcode is one of the utility to develop your iPhone mobile applications. Okay, and we will be using the Xcode. It is required to take your test cases and run it, because if you would have seen the iOS test cases, it uses the Xcode test. It is one of the testing framework provided by the Apple. So the Appium talks to the Xcode test and then sends the commands to your mobile applications. So that is why the Xcode is mandatory. It has couple of the minimal components required to talk to our script actually via the Xcode test. Now to run the Xcode or to install that, you can just click on this link and you can see the latest version. You have to actually create an account. I think while you click on this download, it asks you to create an account. Just use any of your accounts like email IDs to download this latest version of the Xcode. So depending on the OS that you are using, the Xcode version will be populating here. So you need not to worry about that. It's a simple DMG file. Download it, install as usual, and leave it. Once you do that, if you go to your Apple menu bar, go and then the applications, you will see those Xcode will be installed there. Like if you see here, see the Xcode is installed here. Now let me double click this one. Now when you double click for the first time, right, for me actually, because I have already, so when you click for the first time, it will automatically install. There are some command line arguments or the components are required, which it will be installed automatically. So just turn on your Wi-Fi or the internet connection and then you open the Xcode for the first time. The rest things, whatever the minimum requirement components, it will install automatically. Now once you install the Xcode and its CLI component, just keep it aside. The next thing we need to do is that how to set up the simulators. Okay, it doesn't give you out of the box, but one good thing is that when you install the Xcode and all its components, it gives you all the varieties of iPhone models that the Apple is having into the market. Okay, let me show you that. How do you do that? So the first thing what you can do is that you can go to the Xcode, and then you have to go to the Xcode menu bar, and then you have to go to the preferences, and then you go to the components here. Okay, now if you see that for me the latest OS that is there, see my Mac operating system has a Mac OS, but then each of the simulator need to have the iOS, right? Because that's how your iPhone devices are running. Now if you see, this lists out all the previous version of the OS. These are the iOS, means iPhone operating system. For me the latest is 15.5. That is why it is not displaying here. It means that it is already all the simulators built in with 15.5 in my system. But if you want to install the lower version of the iOS, you can just click on this. There is a small download button here. You just need to click it. And believe me, these are huge sizes. If you really need, then only you download it. If it is not, then don't download. Even with a proper speed also, it will take minimum of 2 to 3 hours. That is what I have observed. Okay, so now let's say that we don't really get into that. Our intention is to run a test, doesn't matter in which iOS version. Okay, so now the second thing is that how do we launch our simulator? Now for this, what you need to do, any of the Xcode project you need to open it. You can even create a new Xcode project also, some dummy project. But what I did, I went into the Sauce Labs. There is this application. They have made a React.js application. If you go inside this, you just need to download this particular code actually. It's very simple. Just go into the code, download this zip file. I have already kept it in my, I will just quickly go into that. Okay, I have actually that one here. I have downloaded it. Now you have to go to this folder, and you see that there is something, a file called the app.xcode project. You just need to double click this one, and this launches your Xcode actually. Okay, that's it. You just need to do this one. No need to execute this code, nothing to do. But if you go to the top here, you would see that all the versions, as I told, all the required simulators or the simulators that the iPhone is supporting, everything is coming here, including your iPad Air, iPad Pro, Mini, everything is coming here. Okay, so what you can do, you can choose any one of these simulators. These are simply models actually, like depending on the sizes these are, but the OS remains as it is. Now let's see that I want to take this iPhone SE, so just click on that. Okay, now when you click on this one, right, what happens, either you can execute this one, you can just run this play button here. It downloads all the dependencies and it will launch your simulator as it is. Now here build failed, no need to worry about that. Couple of dependencies are not present. There is another way. After you launched your simulator here, what you need to do, you need to go to your Xcode here from the toolbar, and then you see something called as Open Developer Tool, and you need to select this simulator. Now what will happen, it will launch any of the default simulator that is available. Okay, as you can see that the iPhone SE 3rd generation, it is coming default. Okay, so let's say that you don't want this particular simulator, something else. By staying into this simulator, you can go to the file and then open. You can see there are a lot of different other simulators it is also displaying here. So you can choose any one of this and it should launch the specific model there. But our intention is to take any of the simulator and then run the test. So we have installed the Xcode components and then we have launched the required simulator. Now the next step is to install any of the applications. Either you can install the application from the test script itself, which we have already seen that in our previous session on the inspector, right? Even you can give as a XQE options as well, the application path. But I always wanted to have a pre-installed into the simulator because I'm running it locally. And you can see that I have installed this My Demo application. It is Sauce Labs, one of the React.js application. You can go to this releases section, and into this release you will see a lot of different applications are available. APK is for Android, IPA is for your real device. This zip file is basically for simulators. This is a unsigned application here, so that you can run into your simulators. So just click on this, double click this to extract the app file, and you just drag it to this simulator. That's it, it will install. Now if you click on that, you can use as you are using in your phone. All these navigations, you can see everything, and this is what actually we are going to automate it. Okay, so our application is ready, simulator is ready. Now the last thing is that to run the test actually. Now to run the test, there are two things we need. One is the Appium server and the test script. Okay, now because this is my old framework, there are a lot of changes that I need to do. So I'm not going to really take this particular stuff. I'll quickly set up a new repo and then showcase you guys from the scratch. Okay, so quickly I will create a new project and put the pom.xml, and then we'll show you that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I will go to the Finder, and then I'll create a new Appium project actually here. So let's say that a new folder, or maybe here. Okay, so now after I have created this particular Appium demo, right, what I'm going to do, I'll click on this file and I will say that open a new project or create a new project. Okay, and this has to be a Maven project actually. So I'm doing a next, and here I will be choosing the path actually, and that path is this Appium demo which I just created. Okay, and here I will be giving, and I'll just keep as it is, only these names, and I will just say here Appium example, some name I'm giving here. So finish, and then I'll just say this window, so it will override with my existing, and then I will quickly copy paste the pom.xml that I have taken actually, I mean from my previous code. So let me copy paste the entire content, and I'll just go under this properties, and then I'll paste it. Now here one thing you will see, I have taken the Java client as 8.2.0, that is the latest one. Now I will show you into the Java Maven dependency as well. Now if you go to this, so you just say that Java client Maven dependency, and then go to the Maven repository, and you see that this one I have already taken that and kept it inside this. Now I will just click on this button to load everything here. So let's wait for some time so that it installs all the packages that I have. And now to verify, you can see that all the dependencies what I installed, that is available here. And as I told last session that I need this Selenium support as well to use for waiting mechanism or anything. So I taken this as well. This is not coming as a default with 8.2.0. So now you can see this is a basic structure, no need to worry about that. I'll just create a new Java class, and I will say that iOS test. Okay, sample test. I'll just take a sample test. Fine. Okay, now here I will be writing couple of options actually, and here I will be taking a simple main method actually. So I'm not going to use any kind of test ng or anything. Okay, so I'll just say that okay, and inside this, the first thing is that I need to have those options, Xcode test options, right? Now if you just go to this, you can see Xcode test options. Now here I will say options equal to new Xcode test. That's it. Now here I will take these options. Okay, dot, if I put, there are a lot of methods you can see here actually. So the first thing is that I need to take this set device name. Okay, so this device name is nothing but the simulator that I have opened here. How do I know that? iPhone SE-3rd generation, but actually this is a different format. Now to understand that, the best way is to get this, like if you go to this particular here I have specified that actually, and you can see that. So after you have opened your Xcode and installed all the what you call components, Then xcrun is a CLI tool actually. Now this command will help you to get the device name or the device that is launched actually here. So this device name is available here. You can see that iPhone SE 3rd generation. I'll just copy paste this one. You can see booted is nothing but it is launched already. Okay, so you can just keep it like this. Now one by one all the options, we don't call it as the capabilities from now onwards, we'll call it as options only. Now the second thing is that set platform version. I'm using 15.5, so I will keep that. Okay, if you are using a different version you can keep it. Now the second thing is that I need to specify the bundle ID. Now we all know that to run our test case into my simulator, first thing is that I need the simulator name which I provided. The second thing is that which application. So while we are learning the inspector, I have shown that how to get the bundle ID, and that I have already. Either you can get into the app source code, you can get it, or else talk to your developer, they will provide you the bundle ID. In case of your Android, it would be the app package and app activity. Now this is the bundle ID that we need to use it. I think these three things are for now it is enough actually. There are certain things even you can use dot set app actually, like let's say that you don't want actually the bundle ID, okay, you want to every time install it, so you can use the set app and then the application that you downloaded, right? Like if you would have downloaded from this particular app file, you can give that path here. If you are giving that path, I would suggest one trick here actually. You need to do no reset actually. So there is one option, set no reset, and this has to be true actually. Now what this does, you know, this will not install the app if it's already installed actually, if it's already installed. So this will save some of your time actually. So these two things are very unique actually. These two are, I would say that keep it separate actually. Either you can use the set bundle ID or you can use the set app. Okay, fine. Now I think that is pretty much it is required. I'll just click on I will put a semicolon, and then the next thing is that I will be giving driver. So I will create a driver object. Now here I will be taking the Appium driver. Okay, Appium driver equal to, I'll say new iOS driver, because I'm going to take the iOS actually here. Now here I will put new URL, and inside this I need to specify the Appium server path actually. Now see the Appium server, how do I get this Appium server? I have to run the Appium server, right? I have already installed the Appium 2.x. I have already discussed how to install and run the Appium. I'm doing that now. Now if you run this, you can see that it will tell in which port and the local host it is running. So it is my local host with 4723. I can do like this. I will say that http:// I'll say 000, that's my IP address, and then :4723. And here I don't need WD hub. If you see that in our previous code bases we were using WD hub, now it is not required with the latest version. Let me import this one quickly. Okay, now here I need to specify the options which I just created. So instead of your the desired capabilities, this is the way you will do that. And here I think I need to throw an exception, so I'll just say like this. Fine. Now my driver object is ready. Now I need to inspect this particular application and I need to perform certain action here. Okay, let's say that I want to do a simple login. Now for this, what I need to do, I need to open the Appium inspector which I have already installed. So I will just open the Appium inspector, and then I have added the saved capabilities here actually. If you go to this is my bundle ID specific, and if I just do a start session, then it will launch this application again. It will relaunch and then it will be showing as a mirror view in your inspector. Again, we have seen this one as well, how to install the latest version of the Appium inspector recently. Okay, so it just took some time actually to load this mobile app. This is for the first time. Now let's say that once this application is loaded, I want to click on this menu button. So I will go here. Now how do you identify these locators? We have already the video, so I'm not getting inside that. I'll just take it directly as it is. So I'll just copy this accessibility ID. So here I will identify one by one. So driver.find element. See, this is the accessibility ID, which is the mobile specific, right? So if you would have seen the migration guide, they are suggesting to use the Appium by dot, you will see accessibility ID. You just need to specify that and just say click. That's it. It's very simple. Okay. And then the same thing, once I get into this menu, I can even tap here instead of going to the simulator. And I want to click on this login actually. Now let's copy paste this login. I'll just copy paste one by one and then we will write. Now enter here. So I will be clicking this login button and then put some username and password here. Like if you go to this is my username field. Okay. And then password. I'll copy paste like this. And then this login button. Simple, right? You just need to inspect each one and then keep it. Now what I will do, I will use the same code line. This is not the right way because we are repeating all these things, but while learning into the framework, we'll take all these things. You just need to pass this accessibility to a utility method. So I will take here. Okay, so everything is done. Now once everything is done, maybe we need to wait for some time so that you guys can see that. Okay, so if everything goes fine, then it will execute properly. I'll just do one thing actually. So I've seen that after this menu is clicked, right, it takes some time actually. So I will just keep it as 1 second and the same thing here also 1 second. That's it. Okay, later we will try to see the auto waiting for these things. Okay, fine. So it will open the application, it will click on the login button, then it will successfully do the login and then it will close my browser. And my Appium server is running here. I don't need this inspector. I will close it. My simulator is ready. I will just go to the home screen, or maybe I can kill this application as well. So everything is ready. Now let's run this main method. Okay, actually we have just clicked actually. I mean, we are just clicking it. We are not really doing any send case because these are not click methods. If you see that they have given the bob@example.com and the password. So let me quickly do that. And let me open the simulator and the Appium server. Okay, it will relaunch the application. And you can see that it relogged in. So this is the logged in version of the product page. So that is how a simple test you can run it. Now all the setup whatever we did, right, that 5 to 6 steps, those are only one time. Once you did everything, there are 3 things that you need to keep it on your screen whenever you are running anything locally. One is your Appium server, the simulator with this application ready, and then your script. Then everything else is remaining same as you are executing from Selenium, Jenkins, or any kind of cloud service providers. Cloud service providers, you really don't need this simulator and this particular server. Everything will be present in their servers. You just need to have a couple of options, cloud options, which will identify where exactly you are hitting your scripts. Okay, so hope this session is helpful. There are some more changes into the version 8 and Appium 2.0, but we will be seeing bits and pieces so that you will understand these things clearly. In our upcoming session, we will see how we can run one Android test starting from setting up till running the test into a simulator. So stay tuned and do subscribe to this YouTube channel. We will be seeing some more interesting topics in our upcoming sessions. Thank you for watching.